We as humans have been programmed to quite literally never be bored. When we're doing work, we find ourselves watching TikTok. Anytime we're eating, we always have to be watching something. Or whenever we're driving, we're listening to music. But we never just allow ourselves to be bored. Being bored will allow you to reach any goal you set out 10 times quicker. And maybe whenever I say that, you want to reject that because that's not the answer that you wanted to hear. And you're like, who is this guy? I mean, I saw this video and I clicked on it because it looked interesting, but how would boredom help me reach my goals 10 times quicker? Or how is being bored gonna help me level up with my success and with reaching my goals and my future self? How is being bored gonna do that for me? Well, I'm gonna tell you, but I want you to think back to the last time that you were bored. And the odds are you can't. Because nowadays, it is so easy for us to literally never be bored. Like whenever we lay down in bed for 2 seconds, our first instant thought is to open TikTok and start doom scrolling. Or whenever we get off a hard day of work or we get back from school, we hop on the Xbox and we get on Warzone or we get on Fortnite and we start playing video games with our boys. Or before we go to bed, we have to watch our favorite TV show. We have to watch The Vampire Diaries. Or we have to watch Breaking Bad to actually be able to fall asleep. And we're always in this constant stimulation and going to entertainment and stimulating our brain and never being bored. Because nowadays it is quite literally so easy to never be bored. But there's a lot of pain that comes with that, with always being entertained and having this stimulation in front of our face 24/7. And that pain is not being able to get work done, to get the stuff done that you need to do. That feeling of procrastination that you know what you need to do, but you're gonna distract yourself, you're gonna watch TikTok, you're gonna do other things so you don't actually have to do the task, that dreadful, time-consuming task that you're putting off. You feel that super overwhelming, painful feeling of resistance towards that task, and even though you know it needs to get done, you choose to not do it anyways. You choose to satisfy yourself and get cheap dopamine from scrolling on TikTok or playing video games and watching Netflix and have this entertainment and stimulation. And the worst part of this is whenever you become aware that you were procrastinating. You become aware and you realize, wow, you still don't feel like doing it. Even if you become aware, you just feel like, bro, I would rather do anything but this thing, this dreadful, annoying task that I'm putting off. And then you get overwhelmed because you get behind on the tasks. And maybe your schedule gets messed up and you have to not do something because you have to do this one thing that you've been putting off. And it's just this clutter and painful feeling of resistance, and procrastinating is literally the worst, bro. Not being able to focus because you have so many distractions around you taking your attention 24/7 from these cheap dopamine hits you get from scrolling on TikTok. And you're procrastinating and you can't get work done and you can't focus and you just can't get yourself to do the things that you know you need to do because of this stimulation. But like I said earlier, allowing yourself to be bored will help you reach any goal you set out 10 times quicker. And if you don't believe me just yet, then keep watching this video. So instead of feeling overwhelmed and behind on your day, behind on your schedule, behind on your tasks because you're not doing these things, because you're putting them off, you're procrastinating, you're not able to focus, being bored will allow you to get these tasks done. But not only that, it will make the tasks that you're putting off and you're dreading doing, these time-consuming, annoying, little nitty-gritty, tedious tasks that you don't want to do, it will actually make them fun. It will allow you to actually laser in and have a deep focus working session because you're not worried about your phone or what's over there on your bed or anything else but the work that you're actually doing. Allowing yourself to be bored will actually help you feel fulfilled because you're doing the stuff you know you need to do to get closer to your goals. And it'll actually give you time to do other things and scroll on that TikTok whenever you get it done or go out and go to the gym. It'll clear up your schedule so you're not focusing your entire day around that one task that you're dreading doing. And you're probably wondering, like, what do I do? How do I be bored? How is this even gonna help me? But I want you to sit with your boredom. Next time that you have a task that you know you're putting off doing, or it's a dreadful task that you don't really want to do, so you distract yourself and you watch your phone or play those video games, I want you to sit with your boredom. For 5 minutes, just allow yourself to be bored. And as weird and as literally boring as that sounds, sit there, bro. Look around your room, look outside your window, look at the trees and the leaves flying in the wind. Just allow yourself to be bored, be completely present, and be here and feel. Like, look around, bro. Because I found out that whenever I allow myself to do that, and I put the stimulation down for 5 minutes before I have a task that I don't want to do. You know, that task that I didn't want to do becomes a lot less worse than it was whenever I have my phone in front of my face. And the resistance that I felt towards that task, it goes down a little bit. And the craziest part of all is whenever I actually start to do the task, it's kind of fun and I actually get into a flow state. I kind of like the way I'm feeling when I'm working and I'm only focused on this one thing. I'm locked in, I'm lasered in, nothing else really matters but this task that I'm doing that I was once putting off and dreading. So if you allow yourself to be bored for 5 minutes before you have to do this annoying task, I promise you it won't be so annoying after this boredom. I promise you it won't be so annoying after this 5 minutes of boredom because odds are you'll actually like doing it. And you'll actually be able to focus and get it done a lot quicker than you were before whenever you had this TikTok right next to yourself scrolling. So I don't mean to be a nerd and pull out the scientific studies, bro, but I'm doing that. Because if you're not gonna believe me, believe this, bro. There was a scientific study that was conducted back in 2013 that showed a small dose of boredom before you have to do these tasks. It primes your brain for focus, for productivity, for creativity, and it actually makes that task entertaining. And that's not me saying that, bro. That's from a study back in 2013. An actual conducted scientific study that they tested on people showed this. I don't know exactly where it's from, but the source is just trust me, bro. I promise you it's an actual study. So if you actually want to get that work done and get rid of that terrible, annoying feeling of resistance towards that task, and you actually want to be able to focus and enjoy your work or enjoy the thing that you have to get done, feel that fulfillment whenever you reach the end of the task or get closer to your goals by actually doing this, then you need to allow yourself to be bored. Being bored will help you level up. And there's always that one person that's like, oh, who wants to be bored? Why would I want to be bored and let myself sit there? And the answer is nobody really wants to be bored. But if you allow yourself to do this, you will see so much more success, so much more long-term pleasure in the future because you will just get that much closer to reaching your goal. And if you need that stimulation 24/7 and you can't allow yourself to be bored for a little tiny 5 minutes out of your entire day, you obviously don't care about these goals enough. You don't care about succeeding if you can't allow yourself to do that, to be bored for just 5 minutes, bro. So I want you to think back to whenever you were a kid. Whenever you were a kid, you were always outside. You were always doing something. But today, whenever a family is at a restaurant and they're eating out at dinner or they're in their house, you always see that iPad kid. And we always crack jokes about it here and there, but it's actually such a serious thing, bro. The stimulation and happiness that we got when we were a kid from little things, from being bored, from playing with our silverware at dinner, these kids get from an iPad 6 inches away from their face, from watching Bluey, from watching Blippi, bro, whatever his name is, like Miss Rachel, all these shows and these stimulation they're giving to these kids. They need it from this stimulation and from this entertaining thing. They can't actually sit there and be bored. They can't sit there and make themselves happy from little things like silverware. Or like myself, whenever I was a kid, bro, growing up, I would never be on my phone. Like I had a little iPod Touch. I would play music on. I would Snapchat some girls here and there, but I was never on my phone. It was always at my house or at my boy's house whenever we were out. We would play football in the yard for literally like 6 hours a day. As soon as we got off of school, we'd play until the sun went down, and we would literally just grind. We would grind football. Me and my brother would bike like 2 miles down the road, exploring abandoned houses and breaking in with rocks. Like as bad as that sounds, we didn't need the stimulation because we actually found enjoyment out of this boredom and out of finding new things to do. Just from looking at that stimulation iPad kid to back then whenever we were actually enjoying our present moment and being happy, biking miles down the road and making these crazy memories, you can kind of notice a difference in creativity because the kids that are on their tablets, they don't have enough time to think and be creative like we did. Like whenever we were bored for 2 minutes, bro, we'd be like, what do you want to do? And we figure something out, bro. We'd get a rock and hit it up with a stick. We would be bored and allow ourselves to be creative because our creativity would just flow through that boredom. Or think back to school whenever you weren't allowed to have your phone in elementary school or middle school, sometimes even high school, bro. Even though you didn't want to do the work, you would do it anyways. Like I just remember back to this FCAT. If you know what this is, it might have been called different because I lived in Florida, but the FCAT was this big old end of the year test. And I remember I would talk with my friends, I would enjoy them, and I would have fun times just, making memories. But I knew that whenever that FCAT came around, whenever that end of the year test came, I had to lock in. And it was so easy to do that. Even though that was so long ago and that was just school, my productivity was able to flow and I was able to lock in and laser focus on what I had to get done because I didn't have this entertainment from stimulation. I didn't have this TikTok to doom scroll and say, oh, I'll do it later. I just was present, I was bored, and my creativity flew, my productivity flew through me, and I was able to just have those things. So if you want to be productive and actually get tasks done, or be more creative towards whatever it is that you're doing. And sometimes that creativity is necessary in your task that you have to get done. You're gonna allow yourself to sit with your boredom for 5 minutes. Allow yourself to sit with this boredom for 5 minutes before you have to do this task that you're putting off, or just doing a hard task in general. Allow yourself to be here, be present, be bored, away from the stimulation that everyone has in their brains nowadays. Odds are whenever you do this task, you won't be thinking about your phone, about, oh, did my girlfriend text me, or did my boy text me? Did he ask me to hop on the game? Or what if that one guy posted that YouTube video? Or maybe that TikTok, it'd be kind of nice right now. You're not gonna be thinking about that. Because before you did this task, you allowed yourself to be bored and be present. And this is the last thing that you're thinking of. I started to be a lot bored more often because I brought it to my attention that if I allowed myself to be bored and my thoughts would flow, my creativity would flow, why would I not want to do it? So I found myself putting down my phone and actually being present throughout the day. Whenever I'm driving in my car, I'm not listening to music, I'm not watching a Netflix show. I'm allowing myself to drive, look at the leaves fall because it's becoming fall and that's my favorite season. I would just allow myself to be bored a little bit more often. And I've noticed that my quality of life has just been going up by doing that. By bringing my screen time down and not being distracted and actually being able to enjoy my present moment. Not only will you get these tasks done, not only will your productivity and creativity flow, but you'll actually have an improvement in your quality of life. You'll start to become more happy. Just being bored will allow you to level up. Circling back to the title of this video, you'll level up as a person, as a human, and you'll get closer to your goals, get closer to succeeding and getting that task done that you don't want to do so bad. So if you want to learn more about stuff like this, about being bored and allowing yourself to be present and get these tasks done, or meditating or journaling, or going out and actually going to the gym and building a healthy body for yourself, I have a free self-improvement community. You can check it out. You'll have access to a free self-improvement course in there. You'll have all these resources. Surround yourself around these like-minded people and shave off this time on your journey to get closer to your goals. So check that out, boys. And if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe. If not, subscribe anyways because it's free. And I love you, boys. I'm out.